Video about it years ago where there was a secret tunnel under the like I'm not joking. I'm not fucking shitting you. My memory is pretty good. There was a tunnel from the top of the Sphinx, right? And they were doing an interview with Fox News and they said they hadn't gone down there, but like another fucking thing, like another news report had reported that they had already gone down there and were beginning to excavate. And there was no follow-up article, no follow-up coverage, and they had found a tomb and shit down there. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? The guy's name is Sahar, Hawis or something. Ears loud. Like there's like a bunch of conspiracies, like the Egyptian government, like a fucking just grave robbed the shit out of that.
Of evidence that archaeologists of the Middle East region rely on for dating a site. So the absence of ceramics is the first red flag that we are dealing with a very ancient site.
That wacko stole relics and fled during the... Really? You're talking about the tunnel in the Sphinx head, yeah? Yeah. Zahi Hawass. Yeah. Zahi Hawass. Sphinx tunnel. Like, this guy's super sketch, if I recall. All right, let's find this video. This is it. This is it.
Including
all right, let's watch this video on like 2x speed. This shit's nuts.
The possibility of a hall of records. In this video, I'm going to share with you several key pieces of evidence that prove that not only do these tunnels, shafts, and chambers exist, but
that was it.
Active attempt on behalf of the Egyptian authorities to prevent the citizens of the world from knowing about it. Conspiracy that there is some sort of shaft door at the top of the Sphinx's head. At least
he's talking about a shaft. All right, let's
go.
That's
what many people have referred to it as. Various articles. I've looked at videos online about this, and you see people leaving comments saying that no, this is CGI. There's no door at the top. That's
CGI.
Non-existent. It's just a color fluctuation, and it means nothing. So I decided to go looking into this for myself. And I looked through Google Images and realized that there are so few aerial photos of the Sphinx. Apparently, the Egyptian authorities do not allow people to fly over it. So I went to Google Maps, and that was useless because, as you can see in the largest photo here, that is as far as you can zoom in. So I cropped the photograph, or I took a screenshot, cropped it, and I mean, yeah, you can kind of see a white blemish there, but I mean, what does this do for me?
Yes, he's talking about the shaft, you guys. Let's get our giggles out now. Ha 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 ha. I'm just kidding. I'm the one who fucking perpetuated that.
So I went over to the Google Earth app and look at that. That is just useless. It's animated. I mean, what am I supposed to do with this? And it didn't always used to be this way. So I decided to go back to Google Images and do a ton of different searches. I got really creative and I did find a photo from 1925. And as you can see here, I mean, there's a guy standing in it, but is this what, a 4 or 5 foot deep cavity? Is it a shaft? Does it go anywhere? It really doesn't show us much. But then I hit the jackpot. I don't think anyone watching this has seen these photos. So there's a photographer who was doing a story with the New York Times back in May of 1990. And as you can see in this photo here, yes, that is Dr. Zahi Hawass himself in the middle there.
The main villain.
But pay close attention to the scaffolding over at the top of the Sphinx's head. Because in this next photo, well, just take a look for it and see for yourself.
I see it. Wait, Getty Images.
Look at that. What is
That's Getty Images.
that? Now, I don't know what else there is. The photographer doesn't point down there. This is all you can see. There's a hatch. But does it go anywhere? Is there any possibility that it's related to the imaging, the ground-penetrating radar that has discovered some sort of cavities within the Sphinx? Could it lead to the so-called chamber at the paw of the Sphinx, as I'll be discussing here shortly? There's obviously not enough information here to make any type of conclusion, but clearly, no, this is not CGI, and I find it really interesting that the Egyptian authorities have done...
Wait, is this motherfucker saying that there's a hole on the head? All right, we're talking about shafts and all this other dirty stuff. All right, let me pull up Google Earth real quick. We're going to take a look at this shit for myself. I will be the judge of the hole at the top of the head, which leads to the shaft. All right, let's pull up Google Earth. Hold on, before we continue this video. We're fact checking. Give me 1 second. Okay, this is the Great Sphinx. Where is? Damn, look at how it like highlights. Yeah, notice how there's like a lack of like. Yeah, this is obviously. Let's look at some of the past photography. I really like Google Earth, man. Like you can see so much cool shit. Like you just spend hours. I'd love to do just a segment where we just look through Google Earth and try and find interesting shit. But it does seem to be like completely, like you said, like some of these, it's like intentionally, I don't know. Let me look, make sure I have everything turned on. Borders, turn off photos. The butt zone should have a whole. Good lord, you guys. Let me get my bearings real quick. So, there's clearly some shit right here, right? Like, what the fuck is that? Why didn't someone just freaking fly? Well, you can't climb up there, dude. Like, the authorities would totally just be like, yeah, no, fuck you, dude. You're going to jail. This obviously looks like some kind of like rain blemish or some shit like that, though, or just some weathering. So, yeah, he's right. You can't really see that detailed of images, even on the terrain setting. Let's look at some of the photos, because some of these show photos, and there's like none of the top of the head. That is interesting. Let's see if I can find one. Turn off 3D buildings. Oh, you genius son of a bitch. Bro, he fell over sideways. Someone donated, but my shit fell off. Yeah, why didn't someone just fly up there? I already got that one? Yeah. All right, so clearly, let's see if we can get one photo from here. All right, turn back 3D. We're going to check just a couple more. Where would we be able to get an angle? Like maybe someone took it from like right. Ah, dude. Where could we get an angle? Bonk. Yo, Incurator, thank you. We're truth seeking, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we need to find the truth. I just like any of these photos could show this. But yeah, that is interesting that you never see photos of the top of the head. Like it's supposed maybe from here. All right. Yeah, no. All right, guys. I tried. Back to the video. Interesting, though. I love Google Earth.
So much to prevent anyone from knowing about this in the first place. Now, there has been other speculation, and this brings me to my second example, that there is some sort of shaft door at the top on the Sphinx's back towards the rear. And in fact,
wait, he said it's towards the rear. Did you make those pots? Hawass is hiding in the head. That was stream nice. Mario jump up the Sphinx. Look at the back. There must be a hole. Fact checked. Barely.
Zahi Hawass actually took
that looks like a hole to me, you guys.
People up there with a camera in 2009. And yeah, this shaft door exists. He opens it up on video, and I'll include a link for the video in the description.
All right, let's look. Fact check.
Here, it's 3.5 minutes long. You definitely need to watch it. But he opens up the door. He points.
The jokes right. These jokes write themselves. The shaft. Y'all need to chill out with the shaft jokes.
And clearly, you can see that at the bottom. I mean, it goes someplace. You can tell from the shadows. Which direction does it go? I have no idea. He himself says that it leads nowhere, and you go down there, and there's nothing.
He says it leads nowhere, but this is where the Fox interview comes in.
To be seen. He says that people probably dug it out at some point looking for treasures. Why not just put a camera, attach a rope to a camera and lower it down? Let us see. You can tell that it goes in some direction, so which direction does it go? It's fine if there's nothing down there, but at least show us a photograph. Show us an image of some kind. Why is it such a secret? And don't forget, Zahi Hawass had denied for decades that there was ever tunnels underneath the Sphinx or in the Sphinx itself.
Y'all are dirty as fuck, motherfucker. Oh, I was looking at my chat. It's just like, he's going deep in there. Yeah, getting that chab. Like,
He
fuck.
had actually changed his story multiple times, as I'll discuss later in this video. But it raises questions. Could this lead to the cavities within the Sphinx or the detected cavity below it? Penetrating radar has shown that there's something there. Now let me go on to the next example, which is this infamous shaft tunnel doorway at the base of the Sphinx at the rear to the left of the tail. So look at these photos here. Anyone that's visited the site, you can't see what's down there. It goes to the left, it's too dark. But Dr. Zahi Hawass himself, in the same video as him going to the Sphinx's back and showing you that tunnel, he actually goes down into this chamber, through this shaft, and he takes a camera guy with him. And Zahi himself, in this
Bro, I had to mute my fucking mic. I was laughing so hard. I'm crying right now. Fuck you guys. I have like a fucking third grader's sense of humor, you motherfuckers.
This video states that it doesn't go anywhere, that he's excavated it, and there's nothing to be seen. But the cameraman doesn't even point the camera in the opposite direction. Clearly it goes somewhere, right? How difficult would it be to have the cameraman turn around, point a flashlight, and let us see what's in there? Which direction does it go? Okay, you say there's nothing in there, but at least let us see the nothing. Why is there not one single photo or video available to the public that shows anything beyond this point?
We need the money shot.
And most people don't even know that this exists in itself. What's interesting about this is that in the 1970s, a stone block came loose, so they began an excavation where Mark Lehner was part of it, a very close associate of Zahi Hawass for decades. They spent 3 weeks excavating this tunnel shaft that Zahi Hawass says goes nowhere and there's nothing in it. I mean, I know that excavations take some time, but 3 weeks, if it went nowhere and there was nothing in it, and they decided to go ahead and shroud it in the process where nobody could see what they were doing, okay. And not to mention, stories go back centuries that there is a tunnel system that connects the Great Sphinx and the Hall of Records to the pyramids. Could this lead to that? Now, the next example I wanted to...
I mean, okay, all shaft jokes aside, and all deep dark hole jokes aside, it is pretty interesting the fact that they haven't disclosed that there is something there. You know, like usually it's pretty easy to just stick a camera down there or like an RC or some shit. Show us the shaft. Good Lord, you guys.
Discuss involves what ground penetrating radar has discovered as a cavity of some kind, a chamber, underneath the paw of the Sphinx. And this is something that's been discussed by John Anthony West, Robert Schoch. But Zahi Hawass took a team, they did some drilling, and they concluded that, well, they found absolutely nothing. That there's nothing underneath it, and there's nothing to be seen here. So just to clarify, is he saying that ground penetrating radar was wrong? Like...
Okay. I know I'm tripping. I'm sorry.
But, you know,
it's not
why
funny.
Aren't you letting anyone
It's not.
else see this for themselves? Why did you cap it off and prevent any other archaeologists from checking it out, such as John Anthony West and Robert Schoch? But then I saw something really interesting while watching one of Brian Forrester's videos about this topic. He points out an incredibly interesting fact, which is that the Sphinx itself is carved out of limestone bedrock, and all around the Sphinx itself is limestone bedrock. To the left of it, to the right of it, and in between the paws. Except for one area in front of the paws that has these stone tiles. And you can see here that they have been starting to replace them. They're very old, and they've been doing maintenance and restorations to it. But why would you have these stone tiles in front of the Sphinx? The only place around it that has these, by the way. And it just so happens to be located where ground-penetrating radar has identified a cavity, a chamber of some kind. And as you look at these other photos, they have since covered up the entire site, at least in front of it with these stone tiles, with these boardwalks. Could these tiles be indicative of some sort of roofing system for the chamber below? You know, I want to point something else that's really interesting. So if you go to Wikipedia, which of course I do not endorse for so many reasons, but if...
Yo, Phil. Like, I'm better now. I'm better. My 3-year-old humor is it's not 3-year-old third grader humor is subsiding. But I swear to God, when he made this video, he used so many fucking euphemisms that are just so intentional. Thank you for the sub, man. Indicative.
If
Yeah.
you go and look up the Great Sphinx in Wikipedia, do a Control F. Search for the words shaft, chamber,
Fuck you, man. You did this on purpose.
tunnel, underground, under Sphinx, anything under the
All right,
Sphinx.
not funny.
Hall of Records, and not one single of these words pops up. Not one of them.
All right.
Now that's really interesting.
I wanted to get to the interesting point of this, but by the name or when Zahi Zawash shows the fact that he does go down there.
Let me transition to something incredibly interesting. Dr. Zahi Hawass himself.
Okay, he said, I have found a shaft going 29 meters, 95 feet approximately vertically down in the ground, exactly halfway between the Chephren Pyramid and the Sphinx. At the bottom, which was filled with water, we have found a burial chamber with 4 pillars. In the middle is a large granite sarcophagus, which I expect to be the grave of Osiris, the god. Okay. All right, continuing on. So he said this at one point, right? But then he's kind of gone back to say that there's absolutely jack shit under there, even though this video is about to show.
He stated that he found a shaft 29 meters down, 95 feet approximately, that's located directly between, or exactly between, the Sphinx and the second pyramid itself, Chephren, also known as Khafra. He stated that there's a tomb down there, and most likely to be the god Osiris himself, the god of the underworld, the god of the afterlife. And in fact, he's famous for seeing this judgment scene as you see here, but you can find him everywhere else. These depictions are in the Valley of the Kings and all over the place. And of course, it's interesting that he always has green skin. It makes you wonder what that's about. So I came across a video. Now, this is from Fox.
Yeah, this is the exact video I was talking about. That's so fucking sketch.
And this was filmed, I believe, in 1999. It could have been 96. But they take a crew down there. They take this lady and they actually go to the site. And here I'm showing you screenshots from this video. And I highly recommend you check out this video. The link is in the description. It's 13 minutes long and it is fascinating. But let me get through this. So as you can see here, it has multiple layers or levels and they stagger off and the deepest is 95 feet down. So they go down this chamber, this shaft, carved through solid limestone bedrock. In the first, or I should say the middle level, there is a set of tombs, and there's a sarcophagus in there as well. Even some bone fragments as well, but the place has apparently been looted or something. So as they...
Like, how the fuck we think we know history when shit like this gets looted? Like, there's a sarcophagus in, like, one of the biggest, like, tombs, or I don't know what the Sphinx is actually used for, but I thought it was meant to represent, like, Osiris, the whole fucking, what's it called? The Orion, the fucking constellation. I'm stupid when it comes to this stuff, but that's like so interesting that like grave robbing, obviously like people who steal rewrite history and shit like that. But how the fuck can you go back on your words like so hard here and then completely be like, oh, nothing happened, and not even give a statement about it? And the video he shows is like him actually going into it. We'll watch it in a sec.
Keep going. And as you can see here, they go from...
That's some national treasure shit.
And by the way, this is 55 feet or
yeah, Orion's belt.
65 feet deep. It was hard to tell what she said in the video because of audio issues. But as they go to the next set of shafts, it goes from that 50, 60 foot mark down to the approximately 100 feet down. Look how impressive this thing is. So it dives down to the depths of the earth underneath the Giza Plateau. And
this is so fucking sick. Look at this. This is like Minecraft temple shit. This is like full enchanting table shit. You know what I'm saying? With like water surrounding it in a moat. That's so... Why was this not publicized?
in it, there is this incredible burial site. 4 massive pillars with hieroglyphs and petroglyphs surrounded by a water moat. And by the way, this site was completely submerged in water when they found it. They had to pump it out. It took a while. And as he shows her this massive sarcophagus, it's still about a foot down underwater. He thinks that it's probably Osiris, but they weren't sure yet as they were still conducting the excavation. And this sarcophagus itself is 9 feet long. The lid and the box individually are approximately approximately 11 to 12 tons, according to Zahi Hawass. And when the lady asks him, how did they bring this massive thing down here? He gives a theory. He said he doesn't know, but his theory is that they would have probably dug a second shaft. So first they dig.
Okay. So why has this never been brought up again? Have you guys ever heard about this? Like, I like this guy's channel can sometimes be a bit clickbait, but like this is some legit shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never even heard anything remotely like, and that Fox News thing is it's archived footage, if I recall. You can't find it other than what was. So basically, for a lot of videos that I've had to go and look up, you can't find just like news clips, but like, and what is it? The Vanderbilt Foundation. You can actually request for certain news things because they have an archive system that you have to pay for to get certain digital videos. Have you guys heard about this? It's crazy. Yeah, this, it just goes to show you guys that there are shafts out there that can lead to big surprises.
The first shaft, they fill it with sand, and then they dig a second shaft right next to it and start moving sand away, and it slowly lowers itself down by itself, if that makes sense. Except for the fact that there's no evidence for this. This shaft, if this is indeed the case, you'd have to be able to find it within the perimeter of the chamber itself or immediately outside the perimeter. But there's some issues with this theory, besides the fact that archaeologists never found it, which, I mean, come on.
Yeah, what's tangible? Hawass is a symbol of a bigger problem: suppression of history for fucking massive, for fucking real, massive and fucked up. I mean, he has to be like, there are certain countries that just like keep history to themselves and shit, but like, in terms of humanity's sake, like, the problem is just politics and like corruption. I mean, I don't know who the fuck would buy like I understand there's a ton of people with shit tons of money, right? Like in all over the place, the elite, right? But like someone who's like an elite, who the fuck is gonna buy off all of these possessions from like ancient history and not share it with the world? Like, that shit's so beyond fucked with me. And I know I'm sounding like a total bro ass motherfucker when I talk about this shit, but it's true. It's like this. I don't understand the intrinsic value in like grave robbing stuff like this that could very, very well shape some form of history. Like, fuck your $1 million, even if it was that. Like, it's so sad. This is Alex, I see.
That should be easy to find. But again, each level, it staggers between the.
Well, you guys know about all the removed books from. Okay, I'll finish this video and then I'll remind me about the removed books. Okay.
Shafts. So how many secondary shafts would they have to have dug? And again, through limestone bedrock, that's not an easy task. And look at the precision of this. But here's where it gets even more interesting. So Zahi Hawass takes her to, as you can see, there's these two tunnels.
The shaft plot is thickening. Yeah. No more shaft jokes.
They extend outwards from this tomb, this burial site itself. One of which he claims has never been excavated, and he doesn't know what's down there. This is his own words, by the way. You can watch this in the video. Well, first of all, I don't believe that. You don't know what's down there. You didn't go take a peek. Like, give me a break. But why not at least point the camera down there with a flashlight for just a second? Why does he have to block it off like this? Which direction do these tunnel shafts, these tunnels go? That's an incredibly important question, considering the fact that these legends of a Hall of Records being located under the Sphinx connects from an underground tunnel from the Sphinx to the pyramids themselves. This is the same guy that is back in Egypt, despite being fired from the Minister of Antiquities of Egypt for his corruption, despite the fact that a few years after his firing, he was implicated in a massive theft of artifacts from a pyramid. And this previously discovered chambers within the Great Pyramid itself.
But Heart's in the
chat. As you may have seen in the news, and I've discussed this in multiple other videos, he is the guy leading that discovery. The same guy who changed his story multiple times about the very existence of chambers and tunnels in the Sphinx itself, has denied
Yes. The unknown.
So I want to show this real quick, and I muted myself. Sorry, I unmuted myself because I don't want you guys to hear me going like and shit like that because my mic picks up everything. But I will remember the remove books, and this shit is nuts. Like in the Hall of Records that was supposed to be under here too. Like that shit. Like how the fuck do we even remotely think we know what the true history of this place is?
Now, what is this?
Susie, this is the tomb of Osiris.
The Tomb of Osiris. My guy, I love your content. I'm more than happy to donate to you. It saves my money on going on pointless stuff. It goes to a creator I have much love and respect for. Yeah, dude, that's fucking really nice of you. Like,
The god of the
that's sick. If I died, I'd want a tomb like that. All right,
underworld.
all right, the remove books. Let's show the entrance.
Fine. So this is the second level, 55
And then the other video, he shows it from the top.
feet down, right?
Yeah.
What did you find here?
You know, I excavated this part. I found 6 rooms cut in the rock, 2 red granite sarcophagus, and pottery, and bones.
What do the bones teach you?
Bones.
Bones tell us about the people. Pottery gave me the date of
When was this released? Pay no attention to the huge granite box cut with sheer precision. Instead, look at these bones.
And sand. Zahi and his men cleared it. 55 feet down, right?
Yeah.
What did you find here?
You know, I excavated.
I mean, precision, that part, but yeah. All right, books. So, that's fucked though. He got implicated. I don't know if he still maintains his position, but what was I gonna say?